Nova Scotia's EMO asked to use the hall as a registration centre for residents of Portapique who had fled their homes.
An
RCMP officer was posted here in a cruiser. By this time, police were on the hunt for the shooter, who they knew was impersonating a police officer. At 10:30 a.m., 2 RCMP officers fired multiple shots outside the hall. Sources have told CTV News the officers thought they were firing at the suspect when it was in fact a fellow Mountie.
This program is brought to you in part by...
Why don't you get yourself some turned-down collars, Poirot? They're much more the thing, you know.
The thing, Hastings? Do you think Poirot concerns himself with mere thingness?
No. No, I see that.
The turned-down collar is the first symptom of decay of the grey cells.
You know, I just think if people keep pushing, I can't, first of all, thank enough all of the hard work. There's 3 fellow YouTubers who are working very, very hard with me on this one. Rage in the Cage, Steve LTT, and Just My Stupid Opinion. Just plugging them, sorry. But they are fantastic guys, really been busting their humps here. And, you know, stepping up to the plate, because there's a certain amount of risk saying certain things. And also, likewise, all of the people who are volunteering information and time, which is, like I said, over on the Discord or sending me anonymously information, it is fantastic.
Boom, boom. I like that tune. Loretta, Mark, Kelly, what's going on? Okay, so I thought, well, we can try Rick. You caught me, Loretta. And it's late at night again on the East Coast, well, early in the morning. What the hell is wrong with my timing? I got to get my schedule. Got to get my East Coast schedule. What is wrong with you, Seamus? Wade. How's everybody doing tonight? Thought we could try and go through some articles if you want to bear with me, because there was a bunch of good articles that came out today. Really beginning to warm up. This is good. I like this. Okay, let's see. Oh gosh, this is going to require reading. I don't like reading aloud anyway. Okay, but you guys bear with me, so it's awesome. Let's see here. Share screen. Let's start with Tim's article. Okay. Wade. Yeah, well, Wade, you know, it's good for us over here, right? But it's not too great for those out down on the East Coast. I make these damn long videos. You know, I saw a comment today on Twitter. Apparently, I don't know very much about what was the comment. I'm just going to read it. I'm not going to say who said it, but I was quite surprised. I tried watching a couple of months ago. It was like they never read or saw anything about the massacre. Really? Okay. I'm not going to dox who this is. Like, they never saw anything, read or saw anything about the massacre. Okay. I don't know what you're supposed to say to that. Everybody has opinions and assholes, my grandfather taught me. Everybody's got one. So that's fine. I don't know very much about anything. That's good. Maybe some people think I do. Maybe some people don't. I'm not sure. I think, funnily enough, this crowd knows more than anybody in this country. But I could be wrong. That means, like, all of us, right? How many people are over in the Discord right now? Because that's how many sets of eyes and brains and all that great stuff. What's going on over the dashboards? You guys having fun over there? Apparently, we're out of topics because we don't know anything, right? There's actually a certain limited number of spaces that you can have on a server. There's no more room on this server. It's full. So I don't know. Must be all the talk of whatever, something else, whatever. Let's see here. 21 people active right now. 337 people. Not too shabby. Okay, but don't know anything. That's whatever. You're 2 blocks from Alberta. Is that it? I'm going to listen in bed early day tomorrow. Okay. Smash it gently. Smashing the like. I wouldn't ever say do that. No, because that's just people do what they want. RCMP. Kept secret information any TV watcher could have predicted. This is not that exciting of an article. The long slog to unseal search warrant documents related to investigation of April 18th, 19th murders continue. Back in April, 8 media organizations, including the Halifax Examiner, hired lawyer David Coles to go to court to unseal the documents. The killer himself is dead, so revealing details of the investigation won't tip him off. Derp. Any details of the murders have been publicized to basically the whole world. So, can there really be anyone else at all that could be tipped off about because these investigation details are released? Seems unlikely. Remember how Frank got banned for this? Frank got banned for asking that question. Well, I think amongst I think it was the Twitter lead-in that really got him banned, but he set him up well, leather. Consider, for example, the weapons the killer used. The RCMP has stated that he obtained some of the weapons in the United States and smuggled them into Canada illegally. So, okay, so you're an arms dealer in the U.S. Don't you already know that you've sold weapons to the killer? How does not releasing that the kind and caliber of weapons protect the investigation? Answer, it doesn't. The claim is nonsense. Unless it happens to be RCMP issue weapons, right? Has that been said here before? I think maybe. As yet, the RCMP and provincial and federal crown lawyers, all these people, your employees, right? Your money, all fighting to keep things from you. Again, where's the logic? There isn't any. Our delaying releasing information requires Coles jumping through absurd procedural hoops to get even the most basic and innocuous information. Innocuous. You know, like how many times Morrison was shot? Information released. And the judge, Lori Halfpenny Macquarie, who is herself a former Crown prosecutor, has agreed with the Crown every step of the way. Remember how I mentioned something about Al Béjean? I still haven't got an answer as to why Al Béjean got removed. He was kind of, give it to me now. Oh, we have the COVID. That means you've got lots of time. Give it to me now. Poof, no Béjean. In comes Halfpenny Macquarie. Macquarie, my pronunciation. Somebody actually sent me something. One of these days I'm going to try it. It's apparently a written, spoken document. I don't know how you want to say it. And it's got lots and lots of names. It's kind of like a poem or prose. And it has lots and lots of names from down Nova Scotia. And they said, but perhaps you should try pronouncing. Perhaps you should try pronouncing. Serene. I think they had a great laugh. And I think, funnily enough, I might actually do it just because it's humorous. You guys can all have a good laugh. It would be pretty terrible. A couple of weeks ago, Halfpenny Macquarie heard from the Crown lawyers in camera, that is in secret without lawyer being present, our lawyer being present. Huh? The secret courtroom. Okay, and decided that the redactions of the search warrant documents would fall into 3 categories. Stage 1. Okay. Vomit. Did you see how this is just turning into just splitting hairs and trying to turn people off? And stage 1, which permanent redactions that we can never. I like how he's got that italicized and bolded. Never challenge. Stage 2, which are temporary redactions, and the Crown wants to define temporary as 6 months, and stage 3, which the remaining redactions that can be challenged, albeit there's no guarantee she'll agree to release them. And so yesterday, Coles got to cross-examine RCMP Sergeant Angela Howerluck. Did you notice that there is a promotion here? These ranks, they seem to rotate back and forth. I don't believe she was a sergeant before. I think she was constable. Now she's sergeant. And this is not the first time I've noticed this. I don't know if you guys have. Constables or sergeants sometimes, and sometimes they're constables. I don't know if it's just bad reporting or there's kind of musical ranks going on. Or maybe she got a promotion for all her good work. Who signed both the redacted documents. We're trying to unredact the information to obtain, or ITOs, an affidavit explaining the purpose of the redactions. But before the cross-examination happened, first thing in the morning yesterday, with no advance warning, the Crown announced it suddenly unredacted and was releasing about half of the stage 3 DEFCON 4 redactions. Don't you just read this and it's like vomit? These people, like, do they think they're intelligent? Do they think they're fooling the masses? Stage 3. Come on, get out of it. Before I get into what the newly released information is. Consider this. We have been preparing to cross-examine Howerluck about this. Eyes are rolling in the background, by the way. I personally spent about 6 hours writing up a detailed document, analyzing each of the redactions, looking at their context, and suggesting questions for Cole to ask about them. Excellent. Wow, what a client. Boom! Tim does his homework. I assume other reporters did as well. And Coles, who doesn't come cheap, had to synthesize all that material, look at the law, and come up with a strategy for cross-examining. So when suddenly half of the material is unredacted, I can only understand it as a Crown strategy. Lawfare. To waste the media's organization's time and, most importantly, money. Lawfare. This is lawfare. 101. Learn it in first year law. Lawfare. And to make Cole's preparatory work useless, and consider what the newly unredacted information was. It's an explanation for the kinds of data that the police investigators were seeking to discover from the computers in the killer's cars, GPS units in the cars, his laptop, and two cell phones. I believe I know whose cell phones these are, but can't really talk about that. Understand, at issue were the kinds of data, not the actual data. So, like, we're looking for GPS data, not the killer drove from Portland Street, stopped at McDonald's, and then drove across McDonald Bridge. Do you see? It's just useless data. It's like the number of bullets that have been fired. Hey, Tracy, Captain, Linda. Linda, I haven't seen you for a long time. Hope all is well. Sarah, hello from Nova Scotia, and our good friend Christine and Amy. Gosh, we got a good crowd. Dave is in the house. Dave has lots of good recommendations on food. GW. Oh. Wow. Okay. That's an interesting that's an interesting name of a channel. Okay. Yeah, I'll just leave it at that. Understand at issue. Okay, so here's what I wrote to Coles in my analysis of the redactions. Any technological savvy person, i.e. somebody with a half a brain, I have terrible technological skills. They're not terrible. I can build you a computer. Just not that tech savvy with all this passwords and programs and updatings and nonsense. It's because it's never supposed to work. It's just supposed to waste time. That's what it is. Any technological savvy person in the public would know what kinds of data are collected by the computers. So why should merely the kinds of data requested be redacted as opposed to the actual data? The actual data, right? I mean, come on. We all watch cop shows on TV. We know how it works. The lab with the woman in the wild glasses. Jesus, probably got purple hair. Takes the computers apart and plugs the drive into another computer, then downloads all the information, the GPS info, tracing the car's journeys, text and phone calls are made, phones were being connected to cars, computers, etc. And sure enough, here's the so secret information that was suddenly redacted, that was suddenly unredacted yesterday, after the Crown claimed for 3.5 months that it needed to keep it secret to protect the investigation. You feeling lied to? You feeling fucked up? Better start sending out those letters. I would. Start blasting these people, lawyers. We do have the names of the lawyers. I believe you can write the Crown Prosecutor's Office. It is your office, after all. You know that, I hope. So here you go. It's got just meaningless garbage by and large. Bluetooth connections, connected phone to unique identifier and contacts. Wow. Thanks. I don't have a cell phone. Mass storage device, unique identifiers and media files. Yeah, what? Vehicle entering events, including door usage, connected devices, media odometer readings, time updates. Okay, so are you learning anything here? No. So, but why did they redact this? Why did they waste? Where's that damn marker? Oh, I'm sure I've got plenty of black markers around. Maybe the RCMP came and stole all my markers. You just wasted a lot of these. I paid for them. You paid for them. And you fucking lied to me for a long time. Like you're continuing. Bluetooth, unique identifiers. It's just a bunch of trash. I think there were a couple of things in here. I think one of them would be of note would be the 2 cell phones is an important one. There was something else, but I'm sorry, it's slipping my mind. Maybe you guys have something wonderful. Help. Yes, they keep that secret. As I say, any Joe Sixpack can eat a cocktail. I like that. I've never heard this one before. Neat a cocktail. Who regularly plops down in front of the TV to watch Ding Ding, Law and Order. I used to love that show. Or the original. The original? You guys like the original Law and Order? Lenny. Do you guys remember Lenny? Or am I too old? Lenny was awesome. Or CSI, would have guessed that at this, as would anyone out there in the world who conceivably might have been tipped off by releasing the info. I guarantee you that every person who was in the killer's cars knew that the police would be examining the computers to see what phones were connected to them. Derp, this is not rocket surgery. Derp, it is not some super secret spy stuff that no one knows about. It's just plainly obvious. And yet, the RCMP and the Crown, sorry, that's you. That's you. You're the boss, right? Tommy gun. With the judge's assistance, Halfpenny Macquarie versus Al Beijing, who suddenly just went poof, poof. Interesting. Anybody who wants to let me know why that was, that Al Beijing just suddenly went poof, because I've seen it before, where judges that are seemingly favorable towards the people's position, as in our position, suddenly disappear, and somebody comes in who may not be quite as helpful, kind of anti-people. Kept it secret for 3.5 months. I haven't yet gotten into what happened through the cross-examination yesterday, mostly because it was so infuriatingly maddening. Oh, I have no doubt. I'm just glad I'm not in the courtroom, because that wouldn't work out well, I don't think. Actually, I have a lot of respect for the bench, but seriously, I would not be happy. That will wait for another day. However, because despite the inanity of the proceeding, there was one bit of information that was made clearer to me, and it needs some more reporting to get the story right. So stay tuned. Nice. Rosemary, Angela, howdy, 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 G. Okay, all right. Now let's move on to the next. Sorry, I gotta flash back to my mug. So great article from Tim Bousquet. Of course, not saying a ton, but he is expressing the absolute. Actually, should we do this one? I don't think we should do this one yet. Okay, let's go to this one first, because it kind of is on point. I like to try to stay on point. I know my shiny thing mind kind of goes sometimes. Nova Scotia Mountie faces questions over redacted warrants in mass killing case. Wonder what she is in this one. A senior RCMP officer in Nova Scotia who obtained search warrants for the investigation into the mass shooting in April was grilled in court today about why most of the documents remain heavily redacted. Remember, these documents or articles are from yesterday. Search warrants are supposed to be made public, right? Because you own them. That's your paper, right? All of it's yours. All of this is yours. After they have been executed, with some exemptions. But in this case, the Crown has produced heavily redacted versions. I wish I could have like a little thing that a graphic I could have like of the. That would be really awesome if I could have like a graphic of like the marker just floating across the screen. Maybe it could redact like stupid words like and or to. You know, I don't know. Anyway, video ideas. with some exemptions. But in this case, the Crown has produced heavily redacted versions that are now subject to the court challenge by media outlets, including the Canadian press. Do you like how also, I noticed one other thing, they like to do this. They like to photocopy the documents. So you can't ever do a keyword search. You actually have to read them. Which I don't object to. Reading is good. However, it makes it a little bit more difficult, and that's why they do it. Surprise. To media outlets, including the Canadian press, which heavily involved with, obviously, Globe and Mail. RCMP Sergeant Angela Howerluck was cross-examined. Oh, she has very thin skin. I best be careful because I could hurt her feelings, and then she won't talk to anybody. You must apologize. I don't like what you said. I'm a public figure. I'm your employee, but you got to apologize to me. That's what she says to families. Literally. Are you fucking serious, man? Was cross-examined by media lawyer David Coles, who repeatedly asked the officer to justify why large sections of the warrants remain blacked out and beyond public scrutiny. Sergeant Howerlock said the release of the key information could jeopardize the RCMP's continuing investigation into Gabriel Wortman's murderous rampage on April 1819, which claimed the lives of 23 victims over a 13-hour span, because we're forgetting about unborn child, which, thank you, somebody corrected me on, and I appreciate that. Yeah, thank you. Once in a while I do, but most of the time I do kind of just read their garbage, and it is wrong. Obviously, we all know that that's wrong, and that there's purpose to this, right? Because the 22 plays into the narrative, right? Who organized the province house march? Who organized that? Is that abortionists that organized that? That's why it was 22. Just in case you didn't know. Amongst all the other stew that they're involved in. But of course, they're just put up for this. This is their task. That's what they have to do. People are seeing through the fraud. As well, Crown lawyers argued that certain names in the documents to remain confidential because these people and at least one business have been deemed innocent third parties. Do you know the one business? Oh, that's the apparently the Deckle shop, which actually is kind of knowledge. But do you know, like, Griffin, he's not listed. Did these people not commit crimes? Oh, that's right. If they committed crimes, then that means that they would get charged. If they get charged, oh, there would be a trial. And there would be a defense. And the defense would start asking the RCMP questions. Can't have that. Can't have that. Can't have any questions. No. Nobody can ask us questions. So that's why you're never going to see anybody get charged. It's so obvious. Provincial Court Justice Laurel Halfpenny Macquarie signed an order Wednesday to release some of the previously redacted content, though none of the information shed any new light on the case. There are a couple of details in there. There are a couple, but refused to investigate. Oh, yeah, okay. Now, I do have a couple of more documents. Those are actually fairly short. My reading not terrible tonight. Angela Howard. Derp. Jennifer Clark. Bergman. Here's Bergman at a press conference. I love to have somebody point that out again to me today. It is true. If you watch all of those press conferences, the shield up immediately, the hero narrative will use poor Heidi Stevenson's death, which is tragic. However, using her as a defense to not answer any questions, you must feel sorry for us. We've lost somebody. You can't ask us any questions. No, actually, I think your family did. It's very sad that your organization lost a fellow police officer. That is terrible. But that actually doesn't mean that you can't answer questions. Really silly. The logic, totally out. I know, I understand what they're doing. It's all strategic. All of this is all very strategic. It's not accidental or, no, very purposeful. Okay, so let's go over to another article. One that, this one, please, I implore you women, I do hope that you're getting organized. I really do, because you've got to blow a big hole that is purely, I'm not being literal there at all. And maybe it's very poor choice of languaging. My apologies. You have to take down that narrative. This narrative is going to bite everybody so hard. I think most people don't even know what's going to hit them, but it's warming up. It's been brewed in the system since, well, at least mid-May. Brenda Bow Forbes, Linda McDonald, and crew, and media bashing you. Misogyny. It's gonna come hard. And remember, I've been saying that. Watch. See, common law partner of Nova Scotia mass shooter sues his estate. The woman alleges she suffered physical, emotional, and psychological injuries and trauma. The weird thing about this is it's going to shift. If you ask questions about who she is, that means you're asking questions about the RCMP, which means you're a misogynist, even if you're a woman. This is the way this wonderful, flawed logic works. You're a self-hating woman. Really? Okay. But there's some things that haven't been reported. Why? The common law partner of Nova Scotia man. Okay, so now we call common law. Who knows? It shifts day to day. I should get that little clip where they need to visit with each other about who she is. Clark and Campbell. Well, I don't know. What is she? Well, how do we answer this? Nova Scotia man responsible for April's shooting rampage has launched a lawsuit against his estate. The woman was the first victim of Gabriel Wortman. Please ponder that one. Ponder that one. It's highlighted in blue. Of Gabriel Wortman when he began his attack on the evening of April 18th. In her statement of claim, which has been filed with Nova Scotia Supreme Court, she said that she was the victim of an assault and battery I want to say produce the medical records on that one. I funnily think that something else might happen. The problem is there are eyewitnesses. And those eyewitnesses have spoken to a lot of people, even though some things haven't been said. Just throwing that out there. That might differ with the medical records, which possibly could get floated in the future. Oh, by the way, watch for this one to come down the pike. I'll make a Karnak moment. There's like an envelope. I need like an envelope. Remember Karnak? Here. Remember like Karnak from Johnny Carson? There's another Karnak one for you. You think you're going to see Lisa Banfield? In court? You think you're going to see her? Well, I think this next part will answer it for you. She suffered physical, emotional, and psychological injuries and trauma. Karnak moment. Karnak. We can't have our client appear, Your Honor. It would be traumatizing to her. We don't wish to re-traumatize her. Oh, no problem. Answering questions. Cross-examination. Oh, this is going to get dirty. She also said she was the victim of false imprisonment and intentional infliction of mental suffering. How many of you think that my Karnak moment might come true? Oh, there's a lot of legal strategies going on here. They've had 4 months. They've been brewing. Those think tanks working hard, and they're good. They're good. I can see some of it. I'm sure some of you can too. This is going to get very interesting. But if you destroy the narrative, oh, if you do, they have nothing. They have nothing. Then it just suddenly turns into, who is Gabriel Wortman? And what did the RCMP do? More importantly, shift the focus back to where it belongs. Not on a man who's dead and gone. The ones who are alive and who are doing this to you. Right here. Doing this to all the families. Our poor employees. Spanking. And they'll all start to fall. McNeil was just the start. Keep it up, keep it up. But women, please, please, it is incumbent. And I know there are so many good women that watch this channel. It's amazing. I don't even know what the demographics are, if I believe what YouTube tells me. I don't believe they're garbage for one moment, even though they sewer this channel. And that's my other stuff, probably somewhat. I never believe any of the numbers that they tell me. It's interesting, you know, I made videos of proving it. Likes disappearing, views disappearing. It's crazy. Yeah, and other people have done some really great ones, like big numbers. Just suddenly comments disappearing. Thousands of comments. Tens of thousands of views. Just disappearing. Oh, nobody watches it. Nobody pays attention. It's psychological warfare. Oh, nobody's watching that. There's only 200 views, or there's 100 views. Who cares? Nobody cares. It's like the stars on the, you know, Reddit or whatever, the Yelps or whatever. Bullshit, man. Bullshit. None of the allegations have been proven in court. So why are you running around talking about it? I suppose you can, but why is the media wanting to hype it? Be more importantly. In June, Wortman's common law partner renounced her right to be the executor of the will. The estate was, what's this? Initially valued at $1.2 million. Initially valued. And this was a tactic. Make everybody think, oh, no, she doesn't want any of that. But you got to come back out of the woodwork because we need her. Just defense, man. The chess here is awesome, chess. Awesome. That's not too hard, though. Just that little bit of fine-tuning. Not mistakes. It's not, I keep saying, please. I don't believe I'm wrong on this one. I can be wrong on a lot of things, and am. And maybe I might be. I've been right on some of this stuff. And I've said this one. This is coming down the pike. Watch it. Boom. It's coming. It's here. In his will, the killer's assets were listed, including 6 properties in Portapique, Halifax, which are listed worth total of $712 and $500,000 in his personal belongings, including various forms of savings. Oh, but I thought he drained that out. What? What? I thought he was scared of the Kovu. Oops. And these properties, by the way, you can go and do a tax search on the properties. Find out how much they were worth initially. Wortman also owned 2 denture clinics in Dartmouth, Nova Scotia, and Halifax, and bequeathed all his shares in both businesses. Oh, both businesses. Remember? Broman, everybody talks about Broman. Northumberland. And I got a good story brewing around in the background. And it's big money. Very big. Very big. Peter Rumscheit, the lawyer for the complainant. Let's just check where he's out of. Frank reported something the other day. I want to check. Weldon McInnes. Is that him? Okay. Where's Weldon McInnes? Graduated Dalhousie. Okay. Nova Scotia Bar. Okay. I'm still looking for the Toronto lawyer that Frank spoke of, that she hired on the 18th. It's not Peter Rumscheit. The woman who CBC is not identifying was able to escape from Wortman that evening. How? And hid in the woods wearing what? It's a good question. Sorry, I try to watch, and I'm not very good about it. I do apologize. I know you guys have some great conversation in there, though. I do apologize. Great question. Hid in the woods as he proceeded to shoot and kill neighbors in the tiny community of Portapique where they were living. He also set fires to his and neighboring properties. Why? She emerged from the woods the next morning. Wearing what? And in what condition? Just throwing that out there. He killed 23 people before he was shot and killed by police April 19th in Enfield, about 35. See, so we've got the have we got into this? Okay, so yeah, all right. So the CBC is identifying him by name. Yeah, that's good. Another legal matter. There is proposed class action lawsuit. Oh, how is this going to sew into it? How do you think? Her suit, her stuff that alleges it is liable to the families of the victims who lost their lives or were injured due to his actions. Frankly, it would be interesting to know psychological damage that was inflicted upon Nova Scotians. Many of you down there. Thank you. Frank did report a Toronto lawyer. I don't know if that is true. I'm not going to say anything. Robert Pineo, a lawyer for the case, said families were aware there was a good chance the common law partner would file her own suit. The case brought today by the inserted common law partner is her claim for the injury she sustained on the night of the beginning of the massacre. If her allegations are proven true, she probably does have a legitimate claim, Pineo said. There's a reason I'm pausing. There might be reason for that. Pineo said she couldn't be part of the family's class action lawsuit because of a conflict of interest. She has an interest in the estate itself that would differ from the interests of the families, Pineo said. For us, it just means if the court gives her an award, she'll share pro rata with the families. Remember I said she's going to sue the families. This is getting really tragic. And it's just warming up. But there's lots of holes. I'm not going to come out and talk about them necessarily. But you can read between the lines sometimes when I'm talking. Now let's get into some other articles. Seem to be not doing badly with the reading. Be seeing curious, shallow EQs on Quebec, Nova Scotia, dumb is being taken down. Yeah, okay. Well, I that maybe I can't. I'm kind of focused on one thing. Maybe call me a bit of a pit bull, but I just like what I go after, and it's where I kind of stay. Not saying that there's not other stuff, because there is lots of other stuff. Let's go to this one. Oh my. We'll go to a couple of ones on this. I think I'm gonna just take a little pause for one moment. I'm gonna get a coffee. Yep. I'm gonna go and get a coffee and take a breath. I'll be right back. If I can get that other video. I wonder if I can. That would be good. Is it going to dox anybody? RCMP not escorting vehicle parade planned for Nova Scotia shooting victims. You know that the RCMP had a problem with the original march, to my understanding. Also, strange. They don't like a show of solidarity for their employers. The ones that they're negligent and culpable in the deaths of. Let's see what this says. Oh, yes, Mr. Bond. Is this going to play?
Just days after the tragic shooting spree in April, a motorcade of emergency vehicles was held in honor of Constable Heidi Stevens, one of the 22 victims. Harry Bond says he was disappointed it was only for Constable Stevens and decided to organize a parade of vehicles in honor of all the victims.
I mean, yes, there was 22 altogether, but you did have an unborn child, so there's 23 lives. And not one life is greater than the other.
Bond's parents, Joy and Peter, were among those killed during the 13-hour shooting spree. The memorial parade on Saturday is his way of honoring all the victims. It will start in Chester and go to Peggy's Cove.
Just think it's a very scenic route, and I believe the 23 angels that gain wings, they'll be there watching us.
Bond has a permit and insurance from the Department of Transportation for up to 350 vehicles, but his plans hit a snag when he asked RCMP to lead the parade and help with road closures.
The head cheese of traffic won't give approval to have RCMP lead or block intersections.
He says RCMP cited safety reasons, but there was no discussing ways to make it safer.
They did what? They did what? They cited safety reasons? Is FIDO safety reasons? Fuck it and drive on? policy? Is that a safety reason? Again, I'm not faulting the good officers. I don't want to play this game. I don't like playing that game where I'm on the defensive, because I'm not on the defensive. Anybody with half an ass and 3/4 of a brain knows there's plenty of good police officers, and they're getting steamrolled. You had to build the narrative. You understand? This whole thing is a fraud perpetrated on you. Psychological warfare. Going heavy. Bergerman. Oh, we lost our family member. It goes on and 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 on. Oh, and we're sorry about those other people too. Because they want something to stick in your mind. RCMP are the victims. Nobody else. And in your good heart, you don't ask questions of victims, do you? So low. It is bad. And anybody who participates in it is condoning, because they're complicit in it. I think this is a real opportunity for all of those good officers. Stand up. You got a lot of support behind you. You're never going to get that kind of support again. And you can come forward and tell the truth and clean up your side of the street. Our side of the street. Because that's our street. We gave you the job to patrol. You failed us. And you fight a war against us ever since. Sick.
Bigger safety issue. Us going with RCMP leading or us going without RCMP leading?
With no RCMP, there will be no road closures. All vehicles will have to obey traffic signals and signs. Bond says that's not an issue, but he does feel the RCMP's decision not to take part is disrespectful.
I want it to be respectful. They did lose an RCMP officer, so I want the police there.
RCMP did not respond to an interview request, but in a statement say they've been working with organizers and have expressed safety concerns regarding the planned route, and they are open.
Once again, do you see them coming forward and speaking? No. They'll just give you drafted in a war room. I'm not kidding with you. I'm not being figurative. This has been going on since that first 911 call, which they can't even settle on the time. Because they were like, oh shit. Those phone calls were going from Bible Hill shortly thereafter straight up to Ottawa, straight to the top. And your tax dollars started burning. How do we get out of this mess? How do we save our hides and fuck everybody on the way? Not figurative. I'm not being figurative. I'm being very literal. War room tactics chess. From the beginning. Twitter. This is people sit and scratch their heads. I don't understand the EHS. And I'm not meaning that in a derogatory way, because we all want to believe. Why? Because we have good hearts. Nobody would do this. Tweak it. They would if they have malintent. I do hope that anybody who has the time or can make the time can go and support the families, even if they have to wait at lights, because the RCMP don't have to when it comes to their own for their shield. Don't ask us questions. One of ours died. We've got all kinds of things going through. Professional photographers coming for Morrison. Motorcades going through while bodies are still in the backs of cars. Families are still waiting at that time to even know if their loved one is dead. Let's see if I can find it. Well, I've got one, but somebody very kindly sent me another one. But I don't think I'm going to have access to it right now. Oh my. It's just so sad how we're all getting used, manipulated, and lied to. I'm going to post all of the press conferences, I think. Hey, everybody can have a look and hear. Now, in hindsight, they're easier to pick out. Because I think a lot of people thought I was joking. Or full of shit or whatever. Sorry about my languaging. This fucking video. Imagine what's going on when this is happening. Okay? When this is going on, where are the families? 3 people want to tune out? Cool. You just tuned out. You're lost. Tara was still waiting. She didn't know. Most all of the families, in fact, didn't know at this point in time. To the best of my knowledge. Think about that lawsuit that is being launched. One of them involves a car being returned in deplorable conditions. Do Do you think they were doing that here? See how long this is? Do you see how long this is? Because I'll tell you, I've seen the tape from a different angle. It's got the firemen in there. This is big. Big. Nope. Not one autopsy. You're not going to see it. Not going to see them. You know why? My opinion? One word. Ballistics. I've been saying it. Ballistics. You're not going to know about the guns, and you're not going to know about the ballistics. But I will tell you what the families have been told. When pushed, the answer is, to some of them, because I don't push families. Families want to come and talk to me, that's awesome. Because I respect where they're at. God only knows. I can't. Multiple gunshot wounds. That's what's told to them. Where's that fucking word? Closure? Closure? It's always bantered about. How long do these families have to be traumatized for? Oh, for a long time. Over and over and over. And I wrestle with inside myself constantly. Am I doing the right thing by talking about it? Or should it just be put to bed? Let it go. But in speaking to the people I do speak to, they want to know, despite the RCMP's bullshit of using them as a shield. No, we can't tell you anything because we don't want to traumatize the families. Were they investigating crime scenes at this time? Oh no. Blocks of these people. Blocks. Do you think they're doing their job? Do you think they're helping families? Or do you think this was chess moves? Chess moves on a grand scale. Oh, they're good. Not real good. They're just insensitive. Bastards. Sorry. And to those great cops in there, is your chance to speak up. Be real men and women. Show why you took that job. That you care. And you will speak out against things that are wrong. I don't want to shame them into it. I want them to know that they are something. They are part of an institution that they could be very proud of. But at this stage, no. That's reality. That's reality.
Into working with organizers when planning and coordinating events to ensure that they're carried out safely. The event will go on as planned, with or without RCMP. Bond says ultimately this is about all those who lost their lives and the families they left behind.
I pray it gives us some healing. And if nothing else, the 23 people that gained wings, at least put a smile on their faces.
Alicia Drouse, Global News, Mahone Bay, Nova Scotia.
Tragic. Tragic. I wouldn't treat my worst enemy like this. I mean that quite literally. I don't think there's a person on this earth I would ever do this stuff to. Ever. Because it's evil and it's wrong. Quickest cleanups. All whoosh, 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 whoosh. You know, that bulldozer. That backhoe. Oh, the fire's still burning? 2 bodies in here? No problem. Oh, let's get those crime, you know, the photo ops of everywhere. Just amazing. Oh yeah, by the way, that one RCMP officer that downvoted my last video, good on you. You must feel good about yourself. But you see, the problem is you don't have a conscience. You can go to sleep at night. No problem. What about these people? They didn't ask for any of it. They don't ask for it day to day to day to day to day. They didn't ask for what will be for the rest of their lives. All that they have lost. All the graduations, all the marriages. The first steps. The first words. The babies that will never be. The times with grandpa and grandma that are so important to have in those formative years. Gone. But you did get parades. You got photo shoots for Morrison, professionally done. Does it stink yet? Because to me, it smells worse than durian. Terrible. Yeah, absolutely. I am fully on board. That doesn't negate the fact of what went wrong. And this is another tactic. Take you away from defend. I'm not talking about that. How much effort do you have to waste doing that? You just say, you know me, I'm a good person. I don't want good people losing jobs. I want you to have a job. I want you to police my community. I want you to be proud of the uniform that you wear. I want you to represent Canada. Well, whatever. This. There you go. So people don't see lying and obfuscating and bullshit and insensitivity, criminal, when they go and buy that bear, you know, those relatives that you have that come from overseas, and they go to the store. Wonder how much, not that it matters because it's all our money anyway. Watch how much that their whatever, trinkets and garbage, stuffies and mounty stuff plummets. Nobody's gonna buy it. Because you just lost everything. Question. How do you react to people who say that they've lost faith in the RCMP? Answer, RCMP. Faith in trust is very important to us. Next question, please. Did you answer the question? Or did you obfuscate and deflect? Psychological warfare? Oh, it wasn't on the script. This is how we answer. We'll just give a written statement. Get real. "23 lives. And if you think it's just reserved for 23, there are 23 that are in a category that is so out of this realm, but there is still a group of the rest of us that have to live here too." Somebody said to me, "Oh, it won't happen again." And I said, I really respect your opinion. I really respect that person's opinion. I really do. And they've been very helpful. And I said, I respectfully disagree with you. The more that these people in this world understand that they can get away with this, and nobody says no, stop, the worse it will get. Think. You can find the answers because it's been happening for a very long time. The son of 2 victims of Nova Scotia mass killing says watching the motorcade that was held for RCMP Constable Stevenson on the news left him feeling uncomfortable. Uncomfortable. I wish I had that other video. It would take me a little bit of time, but I can go and get it. And I was just like, and you see, he is being a good man. I'm angry. He will be more than likely at that stage. I can't speak for him, but usually, or he's just very reserved and very controlled. Uncomfortable. I can't answer for what he feels. I can certainly answer for the way that I felt. And you go back to those right at the beginning. And I was playing that video. And I was mad. Because I understood what it represented. Defend. Shields up. I would always say shields up. You remember me? Shields up. And we can't answer questions because it might traumatize the family. Shields up. We lost a valuable loved one of our family members, RCMP. Shields up. We can't answer these questions because that might jeopardize somebody's privacy. Shields up. It's all 3D chess. War room, and bulldozers. I don't like getting bulldozed. Do you? I really don't. I don't like watching other people get bulldozed. Innocent people. Any of these people could be your family, literally. And you know that. Our minds are weapons. Yeah. Yeah. Absolutely. Well, I'm sorry. I'm not trying to piss people off. But in a sense, I am. Because then it motivates us to do something. It motivates us to talk to our friends and our family and our loved ones and say, listen, I don't like what I see happening. And I know that there's bonbons, and I know that the weather is something, and there's probably going to be some kind of a game on tonight. But I want you to sit down and think about if that was your grandfather. If that was our baby. If that was our daughter who wasn't going to graduate. Appeal to people's humanity. Appeal to your loved ones' humanity because they have it. This world has beaten us down so much. We get battered everywhere we turn. Everywhere. And the more you become aware of it, the more you see it. And you can't unsee it. And then the weather really does not seem so significant anymore. Because we all have this in our lives. The difference is, at least I can speak for myself. I can't speak for Amy. I've had friends commit suicide. I've had friends murdered. I've never had a family member murdered. Taken from me when they did nothing except be at home. Why? And then the people that I trust to take care of me didn't take care of them to begin with. And then on top of it, hurt me over and 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 over again. And smile while they're doing it. Think of Leather when he's answering the question about the Twitter. And he smiled. He smiled. I thought we used the Amber Alert. Oh no, sir, says she. No, we used the Facebook and we used the Twitter, which was not true also, right? But she was caught off guard. Those admissions, those small admissions, never reported in the media. Why did the media not report that? I think it's rather pertinent. And he's like, oh. Nonchalant. Frankly, I know it may seem heartless on my part, but I don't know if it was his son or his daughter or somebody else he would care. He may be that far gone. He may have sold his soul just to get where he is. I like to believe that people can be redeemed. We all make mistakes. I know that all too well. But you can come out of it. You just stand up and you say, I'm wrong, and I made a mistake, and I'm going to do my damnedest to make sure it doesn't happen again. The smirk was brutal. It was brutal. Brutal. Those of you who are not familiar, because I know that there are some new viewers, and welcome to you all. I really, appreciate your contributions, your knowledge, because one guy doesn't get very far. One guy with not behind him, beside him, and in many cases even leading him and pulling him along. We all walk together. So I'm so glad to have any help, as long as it's honest help. Don't try and fuck me. I don't like it. Let's see if we can find Amber Alert. Watch the smirk. Watch it. It's there.
I believe there was an Amber Alert that went out at some point.
Oh, hold on. That's the wrong one. I think this one I might make fun of them a little bit. Pardon my humor.
As it relates to the use of the alert system versus Twitter, perhaps my
look at him. He's smiling.
I believe there was to the use of the alert system versus
he's so content with himself.
The use of the alert system versus Twitter, perhaps my friend from communications can speak to that. I believe there was an Amber Alert that went out at some point.
No, we just used the Twitter and Facebook just because it was unfolding.
Right.
We were in contact with the province.
Right. Don't worry.
We operated in the province about it. We just never contact with the province about it.
Right.
We were in contact with the province unfolding.
Right.
We were in contact with the province.
Look at his shoulders. Do you watch him? He shrugs them. And he doesn't even care.
I believe there was an Amber Alert that went out at some point. I believe there was an Amber Alert that went out at some point.
Tragic. 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 Oh, but we can't give you a motorcade. We can't clean up a body. We can't tell you if your loved one is dead. We can take care of ourselves. We can go into full defense mode because it's DEFCON 4. DEFCON 1, whatever. I don't understand the DEFCON stuff. What is it? Is it DEFCON 1? Is that the bad one? I don't. You guys can all laugh at me. It's good. Having some levity is important. Perhaps I should try and pronounce those names. The motorcade was organized by first responders April 22nd to pay tribute to one of their own. Who do you think organized it? Was it the fire hall? Onslow? I recall them being not too happy. Oh, that's right. They're still in therapy because they're terrified. Where is safe? Where is safe? Spokesman. Where is safe? Where is safe? To pay a tribute to their own. I don't think, I could be wrong, and you never know until you're in that position. I'm pretty certain you wouldn't see me in that motorcade. I think, frankly, I would have resigned my job. I think I would have resigned my job a long time ago. Which brings me to an interesting article when we complete this one. There is somebody who leaves very good tips here and there on as articles. I try to just stay focused with Nova Scotia. There is an overarching problem, very serious. And this does get into all kinds of kettles of fish every which way from Sunday. And my shiny thing mind, it wants to go all over the place. But I know if I do that, that's what they want me to do too. In a way, I'm not saying this person, but I'm saying I have to stay focused. Eye on the prize, eye on the prize. What is it? Who is this for? And if they tell me, as in the families, because that's where I'm coming from, and I understand different people have different motivations. If they tell me to go away, and it is actually them, then I will go away. But until that time, I will be there fighting. Get to that article, because it was a great one. Harry Bond said he planned a second vehicle parade meant to honor all the victims. Remember I worked out the percentages here that we were talking about? 23, 1 of 23. What does that work out to be? 3.6% approximately. My math, not so great these days. 3.6, something like that. So we have 3.6 gets how much time? How much airtime? All of those news conferences. Oh, and by the way, those other people too. They could have huge parades. They couldn't even know how many people were dead. Does that strike you as odd? The whole thing was a fraud. $200 Portapic. What does you think $200 Portapic looks like today? Does it have burning wreckage and one car that wasn't transported out of there? Do you think that's there? Oh, no. It's nice and clean. Come on in, photographers. Maybe we'll call the same one that went in professional photographer that came and did Morrison's release the next day. The very next day. Oh, don't worry. I have them. Sorry. I have them. I like to download things. I like backing up things. Sadly, sometimes I miss out. I'm like, "Brr." But there were 22 altogether, but you have an unborn child. That's 23 lives. And no, not one life is greater than the others. Plain and simple, said Bond, son of Joy and Peter Bond, were among the 22. What did he just say? What did he just say? Do you see what happened there? What did he just say? I'm last I checked, I'm not illiterate. 23. Oh, not even. The next sentence. Oh, same sentence. Excuse me? Why do you think they say that? Bond said organizing the event is personal. He says he thinks about his parents every day, and he doesn't sleep much anymore either. And I'm sure many of you don't. And I'll tell you, I sure as hell don't. And this is not my family. You know how long it's going to be before he feels that he can sleep? Do you think these clowns are giving him anything that he can hold on to that will help him sleep? No. Not from what my understanding is and looking at it. But again, what do I know? I know what I observe. And I believe I know how I would be in that person's shoes, Mr. Bond's shoes. Because I spent a lot of time thinking about it. I talked to Tara about how she feels, losing half her family in one night. And she holds it together pretty well. And she wants to believe. We were having a discussion today. And it brings back a discussion I was having with somebody else who I won't name, but and they told me, they explained it to me, and it made so much sense. You know, like those epiphany moments, you know, like you see the light. And I was like, whoa, I understood what it was like to hold on to something, anything that may give you some ray of hope, even though you know you're just getting screwed. You're getting lied to. And you're never going to get it. From the very thing that you should be able to trust. So you have to hold on to it. You can't let go of it. Because if you do, what do you have left? The hope. Tragic. Please, if you have the time, please. I also know that Aaron's having, it's going to be his birthday on Saturday. Would have been his birthday. There's going to be the car show in Sydney. His bench will be there. The person who made the bench will be there. I don't know if they will want to publicly identify themselves. Made the benches, all of them. All of them. From their own pocket. The love. We showed some of those pictures before. I'm like, Jesus. True. Not a hashtag, not a flag behind your name. Really, you know, like in the old days when, still even to this day, you know, somebody dies in your family or whatever, and people bring food because they understand you need time. And people need to help you that hand. Because we're going to be there for you. If you have time, you're out and about in Sydney area, stop by the car show. It's going to be an annual event from what I understand. If you have the time and you live in the Chester, Peggy Cove area, go support them. Show the RCMP Show them how many people. You may get a few cars that we paid for. Our gas, we will drive. We will take the time out. We won't eat our bonbons. You're going to be there. Because next time, it could be you. God willing, it never happens again. But on this route, it's gonna. Sad. Please. I do a lot of begging now. I'm not really one to beg. I implore people. I ask. I ask for simple things. I don't ask for likes or subscribes or money. Buy my mug. I don't even have anything. I do ask for your brain, your heart, your ears, your participation, your knowledge, you to share what you learn, to help the whole thing grow. If I'm wrong, to correct me, to teach me so I can help. Get something for these people and hold people accountable who should be accountable because they clearly can't do it themselves. What they can do is lie and build that world of deceit for us to live in. Oh, it's okay, don't worry, because it does something to your mind, to my mind. When you see this stuff be normalized over and over and over, the violence, the deception, the obfuscation, the lack of empathy, sympathy, the humanity crumbled. And when you've got the glasses on, the true evil, it really does some damage, trauma. But there's a way out. And I'm not shitting you. You know, I think many people may not be aware of the fact that this is what I've been doing for years. Literally, full time, this kind of stuff. So I understand patterns. I know how things work. I know some of the players. My stuff is usually far bigger. And not something that I'm asking you to agree with me or not, or even involve yourself in. But I do understand certain things. I've never seen them on the run like this. Here in Canada, they're very afraid. Not the SNC Lavalin, not the Aga Khan Island visits times 2, 3, what were 2, 3, 3, 3. Not the Kadar payments times 4, which people, many of these things, you hear one and you're like, oh, okay. And the media just glazes right on through it. I've never seen this. Campbell picking up the phone. Can you help me, my friend? Out in Vancouver. Can you help me? We're really in the shit here. Can you help me? Because we gotta keep this chess and war game going against the people. Never. Look, one premier has fallen. One. You think it's going to stop? You go to these. You go. You go. You show it. And their narratives that they are building, don't fall prey to them. Destroy them with your great brains, your awesome hearts. Because I don't hate women. I love women. I'm a man. Derp. I love my girlfriend. I love my mom. I loved my grandmother. I would never be on this earth if it weren't for them. Am I stupid? No. They taught me. Great women. Let's finish this article out. I think it's a very scenic route, said Bond. I believe 23 angels that gained wings will be watching over us. Apparently, they have a typo problem over at Global. 22? Get real. 23. I'm sick of people losing people in this world. Bond has already obtained a permit for the event from the Department of Transportation and Infrastructure Renewal and paid for the insurance. Who paid? You think the RCMP? Do you think we paid for it? We. Like we pay for the RCMP? Like we pay for the lawyers who fight against us? The court system that's fighting against us? No. The bonds and the families pay for it. Bond, I believe it's Harry. I forget. I really do, because they're aware of this channel, and I know that, and so maybe they may even be watching. I don't know. They paid for it out of their own pocket. How much are these people paying? Financial costs, really, at the end of the day, are insignificant. Emotionally. But on top of it, they're paying financially. Perhaps maybe worthy of giving them some money, helping them with that. Might be. Oh, I can't wait until Steve and I get down there. I do hope that soon. However, Bond says he hit a road bump. A road bump. That's the way Global refers to it. When he asked the RCMP to lead the parade and help with the road closures, saying police wouldn't give permission. Who? His employees wouldn't give him, the boss, permission. Excuse me? You do what we say. In a statement, in a statement. Statement. I don't want to pay for my damn paper. I don't want to pay for your fucking markers. I'm tired of you. I want a refund, and I want you out of my office now. Say they've been liaising with the family members and expressed safety concerns regarding the planned route. Really? Really? Do you think they did that to themselves? How safe was it the 18th and 19th in Nova Scotia? With the Twitter that nobody has. How safe were the people in Portapique? Aside from the good officers who went in and broke rank. Said no to hell with your Fido. They got it real safe for themselves because they needed the show, but they don't want you to see the truth. The families, the other 96.4%. That's a pretty good mark on a test, right? Isn't it? That's why they don't want you to see it. That's why they're worried about the, quote, safety concerns. Fuck right off. We are more than open to working with the organizers when planning and coordinating an event to ensure it's carried out safely. Read the paper. My paper. Written on my dime. You're getting paid to fuck me and my fellow countrymen. Something very wrong with this picture. Bond says the RCMP would not negotiate with him about safely and what? Flat out denied his request. It's not a gun grab. Not a gun grab. Not a gun grab. Project Wide Awake. Gun grab was old, man. Look back, Quebec Mosque. It's the same legislation. Old, very old. Not to be rude, but it's old. They want you to think that. They don't want you to look deeper. Project Wide Awake 2.0, the one that they deleted the contract from, the internet. Oh, but it's there. Most people who watch his channel now for a while know what that is. He says the event must go on even without the RCMP, even without his employees. This means there will be no road closures. And all drivers must obey traffic signs and signals. You know what that is? That's not a funeral procession. That's not giving the family any kind of respect. Do you know what that gives? That gives the state the respect. You stop at our signs, you go when we tell you to go. So transparent. We want to split you up. We want to balkanize you. Because as the procession grows, a red light goes and it breaks it up. And then media's there, maybe taking a few pictures, and they see a few cars. They don't see fucking miles of them. Optics. Psychological warfare. And you listen to us. We will tell you what to do. Who do you think's running the show? Who do you think is running the show? The employees. Who are following orders from above. Very far above. Outside of this country, but we won't touch on that one. Let's just keep it here. Let's keep it simple. Bond says he's okay holding the event this way, but he says he feels it's disrespectful. This man really, really, really holds his tongue publicly. To decline the invitation actually is not an invitation. He has every right to demand it. And frankly, perhaps on the funeral procession, maybe people can stop the cars. Wouldn't that be interesting? Oh, that would fuck them up bad. I'm sure they would come and arrest people for doing such a thing. Stopping the traffic so that you have a clean flow of traffic. And the media and all the rest of Canada sees miles and miles of cars. Not a few here and there. Oh, there was a procession today. Moving on to killer bees and COVID. I wanted to be respectful. They did lose an RCMP officer, so I want the police to be there. He is a good man. I would want that too. Because that 3.6% doesn't matter. It's all the same. The RCMP aren't any better. They're not. They don't get 80% of the airplay in those press conferences. Watch them. Watch them. And look at how good this man is. Wow. I don't think I could hold it together quite as well. In fact, I don't. And I'm not even in his shoes. And frankly, I don't think many of you would either. If anything changes, Bond says, he will be happy to have the RCMP take part. But the most important thing is to honor those who lost their lives and give those left behind another way to honor them. God bless them. I pray it gives us some healing. That's sad to hear. Always in death, it's sad to hear these things, but they are a reality. I pray it gives us some healing. Doesn't he deserve it? Don't they all? Doesn't Heidi Stevenson's family deserve it? Don't they all? And if nothing else, the 23 people, and thank you for correcting me. I like to be corrected. That gained wings at least put a smile on their faces as they look down on us. They shouldn't be there. They should be here with us. The memorial drive will start 11 a.m. Take note, please. At Chester Curling Club, heading along Nova Scotia Trunk 3 to Tantalon, and then to Peggy's Cove. Bond says he is inviting anyone who wants to come and what? Stand along the route to show their support. Now, sorry, I may have misstated this. I don't know. Maybe they don't want cars. I don't know. Perhaps we can find out. Perhaps somebody in here knows. But I do say support these people. Continue. They need it. They're still holding on. Frankly, I am too. But maybe I'm just not as hopeful. Sadly, given their track record. Then we have the political moves. So please, if you can, find a time, or if you're down in Sydney, there's the car show. It's another way. It's Aaron's birthday, Tara's brother. Red Talk family, Oliver family. There's lots of ways for us to show our support. Not just a flag or a hashtag. As an ex-Mountie, Nova Scotia Justice Minister should remove himself from the mass shooting inquiry, Tories say. I wish I could put a big no symbol on this, because I'm not a believer in the political system. I understand, and it's my opinion, but I understand how the political system works, and this is just theater for you. But I agree with this point. Frankly, I think the families should pick who is overseeing the commissioner or commissioners of the inquiry. I think they should set the mandate. It's their inquiry. And Canada will support them in anything that they want to do, just as you'd want them to support you if you were in their shoes. Nova Scotia Justice Minister Mark Freery's role in shaping a promised, how long was this promised for? Oh, not the joint the public inquiry wasn't promised. Well, he promised a lot of stuff for a long time while they sat there and they drafted. They just sat there and wrote away. How do we get this out? How can we get around? How can we do this? How can we, I so agree with you, Slow. So agree with you. It's theirs. Joint inquiry. What a joke. Into April's mass shooting that puts former RCMP officer in conflict of interest. Funny that. They're all RCMP. And it's past time he removes himself from the process. Let's just not worry about who says it. It's theater. Let's worry about the message. The message is true. Oh. I'm not saying that anybody should do that because I don't want anybody to do anything criminal. I never want anybody to get in trouble. Ever. Fury, let's not worry about who said it again. Fury would have excused himself at some point in the process. On the same day, somebody wrote a letter to Public Safety Minister Bill urging the government to release the terms of reference to the inquiry. You notice how you don't get those? Because it's still the same femicide. See those chess pieces moving? Women. Let me know if somebody sets up a Discord server. A woman. Woman's only Discord server. You guys go and smash the narrative with this great brain and all the evidence you've seen and all the evidence you will uncover. Because I assure you, you will uncover it. It's there. I know some of it. And that parameters allow for broad examination of key factors contributing to Canada's deadliest mass shooting. The letter points to the public backlash. That's because people are so happy. Right. Weaponized autism. Mind weapon. Weaponized autism. I like when somebody came up with that expression. Boom. Oh, no. I don't know if that's a compliment, John, or not sure what that means. Hopefully I'm not driving you to drug use. I don't know. Yes, I understand what the docs court's about. You have to work with what they give you. Faced after their initial decision to conduct a closed-door review of the mass shooting. After massive backlash, the federal government announced that there would be a public inquiry. How long did that take? Oh, do you think they had that one sitting in their back pocket so that they looked okay? Oh, they absolutely did. They're like, We'll do the public review. We'll put the 3 people on there. We'll make the mandate. We'll put that out there. We're going to expect that they're going to get really pissed off. And then, when they do get pissed off, right? Because how did it go? Look at it. It's optics. 200 people go out, and how many people came and watched that video, and how many other people were doing stuff? Lots, I'm sure. I know over here, I think that there was what? And this channel gets rebroadcast a lot of different places. So you can probably think that there was, I don't know, let's just be conservative, say 1,000 people from over here, plus the 200 over there. So 1,200 people. And suddenly they're like, oh, by the way, we also have the inquiry over here, but we'll just transport the, like Star Trek. We'll just take those 3 people and we'll put them over here. And we'll have the same kind of mandate, but we'll just call it a public inquiry. And it falls kind of under the public inquiry rules, but it's got its own little special things going on. And we'll have somebody go, and we're going to have somebody come in. Karnak moment here, having a bit of a Karnak. Watching. Somebody's going to come in. Did I drive John to go and use acid? I hope not. That would be, I don't know. That would not be good. After, it's just games. They're all games. And then he's going to put out his letter, and everybody can see his letter, and he looks like a superstar. And then you like this, and then next time, and you think you're making a big difference. It's not. It's the same. Conflict of Interest Act states that when a government minister is in a position of having to make a decision on a matter and is in conflict with interest, there is reasonable perception of conflict of interest. Do you think the fact that he's ex-RCMP might be a conflict of interest? Oh, just maybe. Do you think that would fly in a courtroom? No. But it'll fly in the public realm because everybody just has bonbons and accepts it. Well, I don't like it, but, what's on now? Coronation Street? Oh, okay. Yeah, let's get back to that. And you have Wayne McKay agreeing with it, Dalhousie University professor. Why do we need to have other people's opinions? Get out. How about you just resign? Do the smart thing. Get out. Watch them fall. Watch them fall. Tin soldiers. Tin soldiers. Okay, now was there any other articles I wanted to run through here before boring you all? There's another, well, I've already bored you. I think I bored, John, did he leave? Let's see if he's still here. At John. Oh, he's still here. Maybe I didn't, send him off, completely off the deep rail. Deep end. We've got another article from Atlantic CTV. I wonder if this is going to have any kind of more details, or are we still going to get the same rigmarole? See, maybe they say 22 in here. CTV Atlantic. CTV Atlantic's actually been not too bad. They do have some good reports. They don't seem to make it into the national headlines, which is rather interesting. They try to keep it localized, balkanize again. Nobody knows. Compartmentalize. Quote, this whole thing has been a fight, Nova Scotia man said, who lost Parents in mass shooting, says RCMP, won't lead memorial drive victims. There we go. Let's see.
Hello again, everyone. We are hearing first tonight from the son of two of the people who were killed in the April mass murder in Nova Scotia. He is upset that the RCMP are not taking part in an event honoring the victims. Harry Bond has been working on this for months to organize a formal drive this weekend. But today he's learned the RCMP are refusing to lead or participate in the event. CTV's Natasha Pace with his story.
It's hard for Harry Bond to find much peace these days.
I'm not doing good. I'm not going to lie. When people ask me how I am, sometimes I'll say good just because I don't want a bunch of questions.
Isn't this the same footage? Almost? Of course, because they all do use the same stuff. It's all one and the same.
But 90% of the time, I'll tell them I don't know anymore. I don't know how I am. It's day to day.
Harry lost his parents, Joy and Peter Bond, in April's mass shooting, a nightmare he relives daily.
It's something you watch on TV. It's a horror movie. You shut it off, you go to bed. We can't shut this off. Every time we close our eyes, the horror movie turns on.
Ouch.
So I know for myself, when I close my eyes, I go try to go to bed. I picture my parents being shot.
For the last 3 months, Bond has been organizing a memorial drive, a way to remember the 22 victims and unborn child who perished. The event will run from Chester to Peggy's Cove on Saturday.
I chose Peggy's Cove because it's an icon. My mother loved lighthouses. It's along the coast, and along the coast, it's peaceful. You hear the waves crashing. Where are you going to find angels? You're going to find them where it's peaceful.
Bond has a permit for the event and even bought insurance, but found out this morning that RCMP won't lead the memorial drive or block intersections along the route. He says because of safety concerns.
I don't want them to think for 1 minute that I thought I needed them. I can make this happen without it. I want to be respectful. They did lose an RCMP officer, so I want the police there.
While they say they are supportive of memorial parades, in a statement, RCMP say, "We have been liaising with the family member who is organizing the memorial and have expressed safety concerns regarding the planned route of the event, given the potential number of vehicles and people using certain areas of the route, such as around Queensland Beach on Saturday afternoon. We are more than open to working with the organizers when planning and coordinating an event to ensure it's carried out safely." Bond calls it disrespectful for them not to take part.
This whole thing has been a fight. That shouldn't be a fight. We had to fight for the inquiry. We had to fight for the truth. Now you got to fight to have RCMP lead a memorial drive, block intersections for memorial drive to be respectful. But what's this coming to?
Even still, the memorial drive is still set for Saturday morning.
We're leaving Chester at 11 o'clock. Be by the roads. Be out watching us. We're getting on Trunk 3, taking Trunk 3 right to Tantallon, and then we're going down to Peggy's Cove. We'll be down at Peggy's Cove. There'll be a bagpiper down there playing for us.
Because of the COVID-19 pandemic, Harry Bond says they have been unable to have a funeral service for his mother and father, and he was hoping to get some closure from the event this weekend. An event he assures us will be going ahead with or without the RCMP.
Yay!
From Mahone Bay, Nova Scotia, CTV's Natasha Pace. Natasha, thank you.
Wow, what a good night. Good night, Loretta. We're almost done here, I think. Hope you have a good sleep. God bless. Thank you for all your help over on the docs scored. I'm not doing good. I'm not going to lie. When people ask how I am, sometimes I'll say good because I don't want a whole bunch of questions. But 90% of the time, I'll tell them I don't know anymore. I don't know how I am. It's day to day, he says. You know, that's strange. It's not strange, but that exact line comes from Tara. Like also, you know, and I'm sure all of the families. I asked Tara how she's doing, and she's like, I don't even know. I don't even know. Like, that's really sad to be in that spot. You don't even know how you feel because you're so numb. That's the word she uses, numb. And I know they're all feeling that way. It's just, yeah, it's not strange. It's just honest, which is, I love the honesty. This is why I believe this. You guys, Mr. Bond, all the families, this is why I believe. Exactly. This is why I believe. Believe, you know? Believe. Because if I look at the other side, oh, that's not so good. That's a bit of a sewer of evil. But this, you guys, the docs court, which is just blowing up all the time. I mean, there's people on there 24 hours, you know? It's pretty amazing. Getting all kinds of information, things, pictures, knowing, talking to people around, getting other people interested, turning the story up, which is really important. We got to keep the story alive until the families say no more. We don't want it. Cool. But we'll be here until you do. And I'm sure they'll speak up. And anything I've heard, no, we're not interested in you going away. We want that because you do get the answers. You're getting closer. And that's what we need. Right? How do I get to which page? Sorry, Slow. You want to come and join us on the docs court? I can drop the link. I don't really put it in too much now. How do I do this here? I used to have them in the, what do you do here? Edit. We can get more Smurfs in there probably too, but that's okay. They're there. That's what they're supposed to do. Good people will sort them out, throw them away. Oh, no, that's not what I want. I don't know why that's coming up. Okay. Does this work? Boom. There you go. Lots and lots of good people. Lots of channels. Ran out of channels. People are looking for more channels now. I love this tweet when, Tim Bousquet is really busting his hump. There's only a few that are really going out of their way. It's not like as many as you think. There's only a few. The rest of them want to play along. Anyway, I do hope that you have a fantastic evening. Sorry if I'm being a damper. Sorry if you have to go and do acid. But we're making progress. You're making progress. A hell of a lot more than those funeral processions and shit. Take care, everybody. God bless.